guys and girls, and welcome to the new YouTube channel Kook Shed, which is designed to help out the average Joe or Jill surfer with tips, reviews and anything that I think might be handy for you in the surfing world, in and around the surf, and will hopefully help you get more waves and therefore have a better time out there. So to kick off our first episode, we're going to cover wax today, surfboard wax. Now wax was invented to help surfers grip onto their board. Boards are quite slippery when they're brand new or clean, and so wax has been developed to keep your feet firmly planted on the board when you're in the water. It's not candle wax, it's a specific type made for surfers, and we're just going to run through a few things about it in the next few minutes. Okay, so first of all, you've got a few different types of wax on the market. You've got different temperatures of wax made for different temperature water. So you've got cold water wax, which is quite soft and malleable, and to compensate for the cold water, and all the way up to warm water wax, which is quite firm so that it doesn't melt and rub off the board quickly in the warm water temperatures. So you need to know how warm or cool your water temperature is and buy wax that matches the temperatures. So most surfboard wax comes with a temperature range on it. One brand might have 3 different or 4 different types of wax, all tailored for different water temperatures. This one says it's for ocean temperatures 18 to 22 degrees Celsius or 64 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, look for that on the box. Most good waxes will have that temperature on the side somewhere. Okay, so you've got different colours, you've got different smells. You know, basically they're gimmicks. Most wax, once it's rubbed on, it all ends up white. But it's just personal preference. Some people like the smell of some over others. I like this cream wax by Robbie Page at the moment. He's got blueberry and strawberry and all sorts of different smells. It's quite a soft wax. It seems to rub off quicker than some others, but it's just, I seem to like it, and seems to work well for me. Applying wax. Now, just say you've got a new board or a clean board and you want to apply some wax to the board. I usually just mark out an area where I want to wax the board, do an outline, and then fill it in. The most common way to wax a board is to go in circular motions, like that. I sometimes do a grid pattern first just to fill it in, and then do a circular motion to finish the rest, and that will bring up nice lumps and bumps for your feet to stick to. Some people like to wax all the way over their board, so from up underneath their chest right down to the tail. This board's got a tail pad on it. I'm going to cover tail pads in another episode, but yes, some people will cover their entire board wherever they're laying and going to be standing, whereas I like to leave a little patch there with not much wax. And if you've got a mal or a mini mal or something like that you tend to ride further up the nose on, well, people wax all the way up there too, all the way up to the nose. It just depends on your personal preferences, what you like. But yes, I would cover a fair amount of area from where your feet are going to be going, not just one little spot. I'd make it a broad area, because when you pop up on your surfboard, your feet don't always land in exactly the same position, so just make sure you're covered. Like I said, we're going to cover tail pads later on, but yeah, just cover as much board as you think you need. You can always clean it off if you've gone too far. I'm going to come to that in a second. One little tip I picked up when I was learning, I actually started waxing up here where my hands grip the board when I'm popping up. So it seemed to help me grip and not slip. I've seen people actually when they go to hop up, I've seen them slip and hit their chin or their nose on the top of the board on the deck, and it doesn't look like a fun thing to do. So I found that just putting a little bit of wax up here where my hands are going to go when I pop up, that helps me a lot. And not a whole lot, but just enough to get my hands a bit grippy, and it seemed to help, and I didn't have any problems with slipping off. So that's one thing I found. I don't see many other people do it, and as I got more experience I stopped doing it so much, but yeah, definitely helped me in the earlier days of learning to surf. Now once you've got wax on and you put on layer after layer after layer, you might need to remove it every now and then to clean the board. Wax can get slimy, it can lose the texture, the original texture, especially if it's being left in the car a lot, in board bags, cooking. It melts the wax, and it can even drip down off your board and things like that. And wetsuits can make them black and unsightly. So yeah, some people like to clean their boards regularly. Other people will never clean the deck of their board in the board's whole life. It's once again personal preference, no judgment here. But to remove wax, I've found the best way is to leave your board in the sun for a couple of minutes in direct sunlight, say middle of the day, but not for too long. Just enough to soften the wax in the sunlight. Like late afternoon, you know, a cool afternoon is not gonna do it enough. It needs to be direct light for a couple of minutes under strong sun, and it just seems to soften it up enough to scrape the wax off. Which brings me to the next part of the video, wax combs. Now we've got a couple of wax combs here. They come in all different colours, sizes, materials. You see, you know, bright orange ones, bright green, bright yellow, blah blah blah. This one here, I think I got it free with a pair of board shorts, just a black plastic one, and this is a little timber wax comb. So they've got a straight sharp edge on one side of wax, or every good wax comb should. So once the wax is warm, it's softened in the sun, I just methodically scrape it off from top to bottom and let it collect on the side of the board, and then collect the excess wax, roll it into a ball, and dispose of it in the bin. Some people reuse their wax, but most of the time it's pretty grimy and pretty dirty by the time it's being removed. There are some eco-friendly waxes available which are more biodegradable and more environmentally friendly. So if that's an important factor for you, definitely you can look into using that and reducing your footprint on our planet. So once you've scraped off the wax, there'll still be some residual wax there. Now bring the board inside. As I said, you don't want to leave the board in the sun for too long because it can discolour a white board. It can actually turn them yellow, and it can also damage the glassing of the surface of the board. It can actually permanently harden and crack the surface. So once again, just only a couple of minutes in direct sunlight, warm it up, scrape it off, get it out of there. So I bring mine inside, my board's inside once that's happened, and I get out the hairdryer, believe it or not. It's just an old hairdryer. It's not my hairdryer, it's my girlfriend's hairdryer. She doesn't really seem to like me doing it that much, but I get her hairdryer once I've got the majority of the wax off, and I just work my way down the board and get an old shirt or rag or whatever, sock, whatever, and as I go down methodically with the hairdryer, I just follow it and wipe it off once the wax is really warm. Once again, I don't leave the hairdryer in the one spot for too long. I keep the hairdryer moving because I don't want to damage the deck in any way with excessive heat. I don't have the hairdryer turned up too high. I've just got it on medium or low, and that's enough to soften the wax so that I can come along and wipe it clean with the rag. Some people use wax removers from surf shops. They work fine as long as they're not too toxic. I've seen people using all sorts of things. strong chemicals to remove wax, and I don't know, I don't really recommend doing that because boards can be quite fragile, and the use of strong chemicals can be detrimental to the board's health over a long period of time, or a short period depending on how strong the stuff is. So yeah, just slow and gentle. Okay, storage of wax. Once you've got your favourite wax and you've stocked up on a couple of different water temperatures of them because of the yearly change of water temps, you might need somewhere to store them. You can get little tubs to keep your wax in, and I've actually just started storing mine in a little bag, a little nylon bag, which I've tied to my surf tub handle. So every time I'm going to get my wetsuit out or whatever, the little bag's just tied there to the handle up. I can see it, I can access it, and I found that's actually really handy because before my wax used to just bounce around in the bottom of the surf tub and get all dirty or lost. When the surf was really good, I couldn't get it fast enough, couldn't find it, blah blah blah. So a container where you can find it quickly, or a bag, nylon bag somewhere where you can see it, that's great. They can get sand in them, they can get dirt, they can get all sorts of stuff in them because they're quite grippy. So it's always best to keep it in a little case if you can. And if the surf's pumping and you've just put the wax on your board, try and remember to put it back in, because I've done that a lot of just throwing it back in the car or whatever, and it's gotten really dirty or sandy. So yeah, try and keep it in a container. One good one I think might work pretty well, and I'd like to try, is a travel soap container. Those plastic travel soap containers. Some even have, I think, little drainage holes. Let a bit of the excess water out. So yeah, I think it might work. But this one came with this came free with a pack of, like a 3-pack of surf wax. So anyway, that's just what I recommend. When you've got a new board, or you've just cleaned your board and you're ready to put on a nice new fresh layer of wax, one thing I've found that can help is I always put a warm water layer of wax on the board first, like underneath, and then my cool water wax or the appropriate temperature wax on top of the warmest water wax I can find, because the warm water wax is stronger. It doesn't come off as easy because it's designed to not come off, because in warm water temperatures it's designed to be quite firm in most situations, like when it's left in the car on hot days. So I've just found that putting a bottom layer of warm water, like tropical water wax, up on the bottom will help a lot. It will help the wax stay on. It won't melt as quick, and you'll get more mileage out of your preferred temperature wax on top. So I'd give that a go. Don't forget, if you've got a favourite type of wax or any wax tips that I've forgotten today, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to reply or check them out, that sort of thing. That'd be good, interesting stuff to hear what you guys prefer, and anything that might help me more. Like I said, there's no judgment here. We're all learning. It's designed to be a platform where people can come and be kooks and not be afraid of not being cool or whatever. So yeah, let me know what wax works better for you, and maybe drop your wax tips in the comments down below as well. Now I'm getting to the point of the video, we're winding up, and I just want to show you this thing here I've got. Now this show is an Australian show. I'm filming in Australia on the south coast of New South Wales, and we have these plants growing along the whole east coast of Australia. Now you're probably wondering, why is this on a wax video about surfing? It's because sometimes you might get stuck at the surf without a wax comb. Wax combs can always wax comb, sorry, can help you if you don't have your wax with you. Wax combs have this serrated side on them. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but they've got a serrated, sort of jagged, toothed side as well. And that is so that you can rough up the surface of the wax, like so. So when you've got an old sort of soggy layer of wax and you don't have any wax to put on top, this serrated edge can actually help you freshen up that layer of wax to give it a bit more life, so that you can go surfing and still enjoy the benefits of the wax that's already on the board. You don't need to put any more on. So yeah, that there is really quite handy sometimes. Getting back to this plant, it's a coastal sort of Banksia plant, and this is the seed pods. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but these are the seed pods that come off them. Now, so these grow all along the coastline on the eastern seawater of Australia, and they're really handy as wax combs. When you have forgotten your wax in your wax comb, or your mates have borrowed your wax and not returned it, or borrowed your comb and haven't returned it, these things are great. You just give them a bit of a scuff on your wax. Take it easy, start slow, just till you get used to how hard they are. The dead ones, the ones that have been dead and dry for a while, they're the better ones. Just take it nice and easy and get used to how strong they are, because they are quite hard. You don't want to damage your board. And yeah, it works just as good as a wax comb, and it'll get you by, so that you can get out there and catch waves and have fun, which is what it's all about. Alright, so that's about it for today, guys. I hope you've got some good tips, and I've helped you in some way, in giving you some information about wax that you may have not known. If there's something I might have forgotten, let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to learn. But yeah, thanks for dropping by. You can like or subscribe, all that sort of jazz. I'm just happy to have you along for the ride. Like I said, it's a new show, Kook Shed. We're going to just have some fun talking about surfing and doing some reviews, and sort of, just enjoying learning about surf, so that we can have more fun, get more waves, and isn't that what it's all about? Thanks for tuning in. My name's Cody. I'll see you next time. Cheers.